Have you ever worried about student loans before entering college? Well, using student loans can be helpful for paying off bills, but can make students who use a loan struggle after graduating by making them go into student loan debt. Student loan debt must be addressed by the candidates because many graduates after college become in debt for not being able to pay off student loans, and it's becoming an increasing problem in American culture. Although some Americans may say that student loans are good or help pay during college, but using student loans puts yourself in a potential risk of debt after college. In just a few seconds, this upcoming clip will show an education secretary stating reasons how a student loan debt affects good students.
It's become a confusing navigation for so many students, and I've talked to a number of them myself who are highly educated and yet have a problem trying to figure out what is owed where and to whom. And so, again, I commend the steps taken here and hope that this provision continues to gain steam. We need students to be able to reliably and simply pay off their loans and their obligations.
The Secretary of Education is stating how many well-educated students are suffering from debt and are cluttered with to whom is this money for and the amount of money they owe. In just a few seconds, we will provide information from Experian on the amount of debt that exists from student loans. As can be seen in the middle of this image, many students do not know if they're entering potential risk of debt before entering college. According to Experian.com, it states how student loan debt in the United States reached another all-time high of $1.4 trillion in the first quarter of 2019. According to Experian data, that's an increase of 160% in 10 years and represents one of the country's most significant and widespread financial burdens to date. This proves how many students that are currently in college could become in debt after they graduate by using large amounts of student loans that they are going to struggle paying. In just a few seconds, you'll be seeing a clip of Lucy McFadden of her trying to state reasons of how student loan debt is too much for students.
Too many of our students are finding themselves saddled with student loan debt after attending predatory institutions. We cannot expect our students to repay these loans when they were not given the quality education and degree that they paid for. Students who pursue higher education degrees are sometimes faced with sudden school closures or the institution's loss of accreditation. When this happens, students are often left with incredible debts, but no degree to show for it. This issue hits very...
Next up is a teacher who is named Miss Pope, who is still experiencing student loan debt.
Okay, so are you currently in student loan debt?
Yes, I still have a little bit of student loan debt left.
Right. How long have you been in student loan debt so far?
Well, this will be now my third time that I've had student loan debt because I had debt for my undergrad, which I paid off, and then for both of my masters, I used student loans for both of those degrees, and my last one, I'm almost finished paying that one off.
Did you know before entering college that you were at potential risk of student loan debt?
Yes, I knew that because my parents weren't able to pay for all of my schooling, so I knew I had to take on some debt in order to pay for my education.
Also, do you think now that colleges are very expensive to pay?
Yes, because I know from even when I was in school till now, the price increase of tuition has been almost doubled, so I do think it is kind of outrageous the amounts that it has gone up.
And the last question will be, how can the future president or the future candidates that are going in can fix this issue in the upcoming years?
I think they need to put a more value on education and knowing that it should be for the masses, not for the select few that can, afford to pay it outright, and not charge our kids, our future of America, an arm and a leg to try to further their education. So I think they need to put a more priority on education and decrease the cost.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
As can be seen, Ms. Pope addresses her student loan history and the debt that carried along with them.
Student loan debt is an ongoing issue for students and for students willing to pursue higher education in the future.
So we'll hope to hear from you again. Thanks for making this your first call into the Washington Journal. Kate's next from Tennessee on that line for those who have more than $20,000 in student loan debt. Kate, go ahead.
Hi, my daughter is in debt, more than $20,000. I am a high school teacher. I teach at a lovely private school. I advise high school students about debt. I advise them about college. We are in serious.
Students actually have to think more about their debt instead of their education in general.
The situation that has led more students to go into default because of the high debt burden. It said, due to escalating tuition and easy credit, the U.S. has 101 people who owe at least $1 million.
It's an ongoing issue in American culture, and it must be addressed by the candidates. One student loan debt can be solved through awareness and involvement of those who want the higher education of the students of America. The benefits of higher education will go even further beyond than what it is now.